Shalom, brothers and sisters, and y'all. Before I get started with this video, I just want to make it known that this is going to be my third time trying to record it. The spirit of distraction is lingering, so I know that there must be some type of important vision that I'm about to talk about. Because literally, as I'm recording, I'm getting distractions left and right. It's unreal. So I just want to say beforehand, if I get another phone call while I'm recording on my phone, I'm going to try to forward the call. But if it continues to ring or somehow it gets answered, just bear with me. And I'm going to end the call and continue the video. Because this will be the third time that this video was distracted, in which I'm starting all over again right now. I'm going to go ahead and continue. This particular vision I did receive when I was between the ages of 9 and 10 years old. I was in my youth. I'm 28 now. I'm 28 years old now. So some time has passed. If you have any validation or, any visions similar, feel free to comment. Or, if you have a channel concerning the same thing and you have a vision on there, and, just, feel free to leave it in the comments, and we can all commune with one another and speak of the things of that which is spiritual, and, reveal to one another what Yah has shown us in his mercies. I was 9 to 10 years old when I did have this vision, and I will tell you what I can remember of it, which is pretty much all of it, because I remember a lot of my visions like movies in my head. This particular one I can't seem to, forget about due to the graces and mercies of Yah that he has kept it within me, but because it was very graphic, and it was, I was very, I wouldn't say disturbed, but yeah, kind of disturbed when I had the vision years ago. But I'm going to go ahead and get on with it and try to make it brief, but descriptive, and explain it the best I can. Okay, so in my dream, as I was speaking earlier, I was between the ages of 9 and 10 when I had it. I woke up in my dream and walked out of my room into my parents' room, who were literally, their room was on the other side of the hall. My parents were not home in this vision, and it was just me and my little sister. My little sister, maybe 3 or 4 in this vision, as that was her age around the time that I had it. And my twin sister was, of course, the same age. They were all in the forms of their current age then, at the time of the vision. My twin sister was in my parents' room in a computer chair, and looking at the TV, and the news was on. It was a breaking news report. There was a white woman warning people to go in their homes, and because there was a missile that was about to hit the land. They was calling this missile like a strawberry bomb. I don't know if it was nuclear. I don't know if it was like a hydrogen bomb, although it did look like a hydrogen bomb. The bomb was not modular looking. It didn't look like, high tech, or like with the pointy ends and the pointy nose, like we see today, 2018. But this bomb had like a very dome type nose to it, and it had like a tail on it, but the tail resembled like the best way I can describe it, and I know once I describe it, if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The tail on this bomb, draw a circle, okay, and then put a X in the middle of it, like a cross in the middle of that circle, and that's what the tail of the bomb looked like. It was very old school looking, but they called this bomb, it was calling it a strawberry bomb, and as I was looking at the bomb on the news, it was more like it was airborne. It was an airborne bomb. And they was calling it a strawberry bomb, I guess, because it was pink and reddish discharge coming from the end of the bomb. Like, when missiles fly, it has the emissions and and the smoke and stuff coming out the back. On this particular bomb, it was reddish and pinkish smoke coming from it, trailing in the sky. And on the news, they had a close-up of the bomb, and it was following it as it was flying. It wasn't flying in, let's say, a nose down, falling from airplane straight to the ground kind of way. It looked more like an intercontinental ballistic missile, because it was flying straight in the manner of an airplane. So I had went to the living room, and my little sister was watching TV in the living room, and I looked out the window. Now, all this is, we had a 2-level home at this time, and this vision occurred in that house. And in the vision, I was in that house. And my little sister was watching TV in the living room. And there was a triple-paned window, like a very wide window in my living room. And I opened up the curtains and looked out of it. And when I was looking out of my window, it was people all in the street. A lot of these people I knew. Actually, everyone I actually focused in on and looked at, I thought I knew. They were neighbors. They were friends from school. They were, the amount of people who were outside, they were in my yard. They were in the streets. They were in my neighbors' yards. They were, a lot of the people I already knew and cared about. Their faces are popping up in my head as I'm replaying this in my mind from what I seen in my vision. I was just looking out. It looked like a block party, but it was so dense. It was shoulder-to-shoulder room. It was so many people outside. And every time I looked at, zoomed in on one person out of the crowd, it was somebody that I knew. They were friends. They were neighbors. They were people I used to play basketball with. They were kids from school. They were kids, just people, everybody I knew. And it was like so many people. That's the best way I can explain it. It was like shoulder room. It was like a moving crowd, and they were just standing outside, chilling. They were just chilling, and I got to banging on the window, trying to get somebody's attention to tell them to go in their houses. I remember banging on my window, yelling through the window to my friends and to the people I cared about. Hey, go in the house. Go in the house. It's a bomb. It's a bomb. I was banging on the window and trying to get someone's attention to go in the house. There were so many people outside. You could barely see the ground. It was so many people outside. I'm trying to explain to you, it's like a block party, it looked like a huge party, and everybody was outside, and it was like shoulder-to-shoulder room, and people were walking around, between each other and turning sideways and, weaseling by each other and stuff like that, but it was like shoulder-to-shoulder. My neighbor's yard across the street from me, the neighbors to the left, the neighbors to the right, it was just everybody was standing up, just chilling, and I guess having fun, but it was so many people. It's like, what can you really do to have fun? You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do anything, but they were outside talking, laughing, chilling, and it was like, man, if I could guess, hundreds, maybe from what I've seen, because I didn't see like my whole street. All I could see was the house across the street from me, my front yard, and those houses to the left and right of me across the street and on my side of the street. And it was dense. It was so many people. I would guess maybe 800 to 1,000. And I was looking within the crowd and saw people that I knew. And I was banging on the window trying to warn them, and nobody even budged. Nobody noticed me. I was waving my arms. Then it got to the point where they were counting down the moment of impact on the news. And I closed the curtains. And my little sister got really scared. And I grabbed her, and I grabbed my twin sister. We had a couch. It was a blue 3-seater couch. And I remember grabbing them and huddling them up and telling them that it's going to be okay. And we all got on our knees, and I covered them. I covered them like how you would when you put your arm over somebody's shoulder. I had my arms over both of their shoulders, holding them close. And I remember being on my knees behind this couch praying. I was praying to the Most High. I was just praying. And I didn't feel no vibration. I didn't feel no type of shaking. I didn't hear an impact. But I knew that bomb had landed because they were counting it down. And it was very awkward. It was silent. Like I said, I didn't hear the bomb hit or go off. I didn't feel no impact. It was as if nothing happened. And then I got up and looked back out the window. And there were dead bodies and body parts everywhere. Blood, guts. Okay, I'm going to try to explain how the house looks so you can really understand this and visualize this. Our house was like a 2-story home with a carport. And of course, most homes with carports have the shingled roof area as a covering for the cars in the carport. In this particular house, it was like I said, it was a 2-level. That shingling ran across the front of the house to where it was like a covering for the sidewalk as you would come out the front door. So if you came out the front door and you looked up, okay, let's say if it was raining. If it was raining and you came out our front door, you wouldn't get wet because the shingling and the covering ran from the front door to maybe 20 feet of sidewalk until you hit the driveway, and then the whole driveway was covered with this shingling and roofing. So it was like it was a roofing for the carport, and maybe 2 feet from the house between the lower and upper level, right down the middle, all the way to the door. It will come out about 3 feet to cover the walkway to the door. I might throw a picture up if I can find one. I'm sure I can. But you'll know what I'm talking about if you ever seen or have a home like this. So this shingling or this extended little bit of roofing across the middle of the house, when you're upstairs in the living room and you open and you look out the window, you can see this portion. You can see it. Let's say I climbed out my living room window, I could stand up on that little portion of roofing. It's right there. Like, as soon as you open up the window, you look down, it's that little, you can see shingles in the gutter, and what you're looking at is really the covering for the walkway to get to the front door. But it's all extended off the carport. Okay, and I had to say that so I can give you a graphic visual of what I saw when I actually opened this window. When I opened up the blinds and looked outside, it was body parts, blood, guts everywhere. Everyone had died. It looked like the bomb decimated everyone. There was arms, there were legs, there were body parts on that shingling area underneath the window. They had blew up into pieces and was scattered everywhere. There were arms, there were legs, there were body parts in the shingle, in that little split roofing part I'm telling you about that was underneath that window that acted as a covering covering for the sidewalk leading to the front door, but it was all a part of the carport roofing. When I opened up my living room window and looked outside, there were dead people everywhere. And there were body parts, ripped, severed body parts that flew and landed on that portion of the house. To where when I opened up the window and looked down, as I'm looking and observing at everything I was seeing, I see arms, I see legs, I see feet, I see hands blown up. Body parts everywhere. Dead people in the street. There was not one standing person. There was not one living person outside. Not one. And then I woke up after I saw that. Shalom, brothers and sisters. I wanted to share that vision from the days of my youth. Y'all bless.